finally arrived. We're gonna unbox it together and then we're gonna set it up. In this video, I'm just gonna share some thoughts that I have on the new Q REVO, some things that surprised me and some things that, well, disappointed me, let's just say. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing Roborock Q REVO, and if you watch my video you know that I just ordered it on Amazon Prime because there was a very good deal on it, so finally arrived. So we're gonna unbox it together and then we're gonna set it up. Let's see what's inside. It's a pretty heavy package, like 30 pounds. So just heads up, if you have to drag it from the first floor, it's good to have an elevator. Box inside of a box. It's literally like a perfect fit box, so I'm gonna keep them both. I got my little GoPro so you can see better. Let me set it up. Something similar to Narwhal, they also came with similar instructions for people who don't want to read full manual. Let's see what's inside. Okay, so here we have a little mopping station dock. This is what it looks like. And mopping pads. I actually like that they are gray because on the white ones that came with Narwhal, like, I mean, I guess you can tell if they are dirty, but also like they look dirty sometimes after weeks of using, so these will just look like they can last a little longer. Hopefully we'll see. Our app we can download, and now we have our robot. Here is a cable, charging cable. That's actually not too heavy. Water tank. This looks like clean water. It's for dirty water. Okay, now I'm gonna take off this beautiful plastic wrap. Okay, there's a little cable management here, which is great. Okay. Now this is neat. Let's slap these mopping pads. Super satisfying, yeah. Okay, I got the robot finally connected. I had to turn it off and turn it back on to connect. I don't know why. It was just giving me an error all the time. So I think I had the same issue with the Roborock 7 when I was trying to connect. It just sometimes freezes up or something. So after I turn it off and turn it back on, it connected immediately. Yeah, this is gonna be his new home. It's now charging it at 40%, so it's not too bad. I think I could scan the apartment. I'm gonna fill the water tank so it can also mop. Let's open this up. It smells brand new, and it is. And you know what? I was about to use reverse osmosis water, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I used the regular water. At least I was using regular water with Narwhal robot and it was working fine. And this is the wood floor cleaner that I was using with Narwhal, and it worked really well. When I tried to use different cleaners, they would soap up and get very foamy. So this is just much better if you don't want, you know, your robot to break, because if you put a cleaner with this water that is just gets very foamy, then your robot will give you an error. I tried that. I tried with dish soap, and after like second wash, the robot was like, it's overflowing, fix me. So this so far has been working really well and smells good too. And it's safe for wood. Okay, almost full. I think for the first wash, I'm not gonna actually use this. I wanna see how well it's gonna clean the floors without any product. So it's been a few days since I got my new Roborock Q REVO that is right here. That's That's their new home. It's sitting right here. I was actually very happy that I was able to fit it here because the narwhal Frio didn't fit anywhere in my living room, so I had to keep it in the bedroom, which was not ideal. And if you saw the review of the narwhal Frio on my channel, you know why. I'm gonna link it down below if you're interested. But moving on to this video and my first impressions review, let's just call it like that, because it's been just a few days since I've been running it and testing it, and I am planning to make a full review after weeks of testing it. But in this video I'm just gonna share some thoughts that I have on the new Q REVO, some things that surprised me and some things that, well, disappointed me, let's just say. So first thing that I've noticed, which is a good thing, is the noise level. It's obviously still not as good as some other robot vacuums. That's unfortunately something that Roborock has been struggling since the beginning, I would say. All the Roborock robot vacuums that I had were always kind of loud. That means that I usually run it when I go for a walk or when I go to grab lunch. And the good thing about Roborock is that the navigation is amazing, and because of that great navigation, it takes very little time to vacuum and mop the whole apartment. From all the robot vacuums that I've tested, the Roborock is always the fastest and the performance is amazing, so I have no complaints there. The robot was able to scan the whole apartment in less than 5 minutes. Like, it was insanely fast. Like, it didn't actually need to go touch all the edges. It literally just went in few directions and was able to scan everything, which that's new, because like with the Roborock S7 I actually had to like basically vacuum and scan the place for the first time, so it took like over 30 minutes. With this, like I said, less than 5 minutes, literally in minutes, like maybe it took, I don't know, like 2 minutes, the whole apartment was scanned. So I was able to like separate all the rooms and set no-go zones. So basically amazing, a nice surprise. And like I mentioned, it's quieter than the Roborock S7. But still, not the quietest robot vacuum out there. But I'm glad that they are trying to improve it. Like, I wouldn't mind running it, when I'm here. I would still not plan for that. Like, if I'm working, I don't want any distractions. Like, having the robot run for like 30 minutes or so while I'm here is a little annoying. Still, I would like, it's much better than S7. Like, it still wouldn't bother me as much, but I still choose to go out when I'm running the Roborock Q REVO because it's not there yet. If you're looking for a quiet robot vacuum, then I would go towards narwhal vacuums. They are much quieter. But the Q REVO. So something new that I've noticed that never ever happened with any of the robot vacuums that I had and I tested. Well, this robot decided to go out. I know how it sounds, and it's my fault. It's fully my fault. I left the balcony window door open when I left to get lunch, and whenever I would do that, my Roborock S7, my narwhal, they never escaped. Meaning, even when I left the door open, the trim was so big that the robots they weren't able to cross that, and I never had an issue. But the Q REVO, brand new Q REVO, decided to go out there and explore and vacuum my balcony. So I didn't know that was possible because there was a pretty big trim. Like, the robot really needs a lot more like power to be able to push itself over that edge, and it did. It was able to go outside, vacuum the balcony. It was not able to come back. And I got a notification on my phone, hey, the robot is trapped. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, I never got those notifications whenever I would run Roborock S7. That only happened literally like twice when I first set up my Roborock S7 in this apartment. And there were a few things that I had to like basically move because the Roborock just would get stuck. After I moved it for a year, I didn't have any issues with my S7 getting stuck. Only the narwhal Frio, unfortunately, got stuck on some power cords that Roborock S7 avoided. So this Q REVO, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. This Q REVO didn't get stuck on those power cords, but it did escape. So I had to set up the invisible wall, which I later changed to no go-to zone because I'm just afraid that somehow it's gonna avoid the invisible wall and still go out. So that's what I did. I fully embrace that it's my fault. I just underestimated this robot. So if you have, you know, in your house, if you have like some rooms, like bathroom, on a slightly different level, like it's much lower or much taller, I don't know, and your previous robot vacuum had a hard time getting into those rooms because of the trim, well, Q REVO seems to be a lot more powerful in pushing itself to those rooms, basically. So you gotta be careful. I'm telling you guys this, so you know, you're fully aware that this is a very powerful robot and it's able to get into places which you may not want the robot to be in. So fortunately, the robot didn't end up on a street, didn't crash, you know, just couldn't come back to the station because it got stuck on the balcony. But yeah, anyhow, the other thing which I've noticed with this Q REVO is that it uses a lot less water than, for example, Narwhal Frio. And that was very surprising to me because like anytime I would run Narwhal Frio, I would have to pretty much empty the dirty water bin and add some water into the clean water tank. And I would say maybe it would last, you know, 2 cleaning sessions without my intervention, but then I would have to like refill it, empty. With this, after 1 session, there's literally like that much dirty water, and the clean water tank lasts for at least, I would say, 4 sessions, possibly even more. I didn't have to refill it since I got it. It's still like at least half full, and I ran it a few times. So that's actually a great thing because that means that the robot is a lot more efficient. That means it probably uses less power and also clearly less water. The cleaning session takes a lot less time than with the Narwhal Frio. The Narwhal Frio took over an hour and a half to clean the whole apartment, while this Q REVO takes half of that time or even less. I actually have to double check. I know that my S7 took around 30 to 40 minutes to vacuum and mop the whole place, and this robot takes similar amount of time. So it's a great news because that means that it requires less intervention. Like basically I don't need to you know, empty the dustbin, which is great. There's a dust bag inside, which is amazing. Also, I don't need to empty I don't need to empty the dirty water tank because it doesn't get full that quickly, and it seems like the water in the clean bin just lasts for much longer. So I honestly love that. Okay, I had to move a little bit, but you can see the robot a little better. So another thing, I would say maybe a small con, but honestly I wouldn't even call it a con because that's something that is kind of a side effect of having the self-emptying station, and the self-emptying process is insanely loud. So just something, you know, you gotta be prepared for. Basically after every I'm trying to fix this position, but it's not getting better. Anyhow, basically after every run, the vacuum will self-empty itself, and for like 10-20 seconds it's gonna be very loud. So just something to keep in mind. You know, I like that I don't have to empty the dustbin, so I'm okay with that. But definitely if you have like kids, you know, or like a newborn, just, you know, you may not want that because it's so loud. It's not great, but for me it's not that big of a deal, so it's fine. The other thing is that it's definitely much louder at cleaning the mopping pads than the Narwhal Frio, and I think it's partially because the Narwhal Frio was kind of like a bubble. It was like a capsule, like it was built in a way that it was like the robot vacuum when it was cleaning the mops, it was like kind of hidden, and I think they designed it in a way so that process would be much quieter. In here, like it's pretty much in the open. I mean, the mopping pads are still inside. When they are being washed, you can't see them, and you know, the water is not sprayed all over. So this is great, but definitely you can hear it. So that's again something to keep in mind. Another thing which I've noticed is that the black robot vacuum gets very dusty very easily. Basically, you can see every single dust speck on top of it. I used to have white robot vacuums, and even though like you would think, oh, it's white, it's gonna get dirty, like you could not really see any dirt on top of it. With the black, the dirt is a lot more visible. So I don't have regrets getting the black one because like it goes beautifully with furniture here. It's not an eyesore, especially that I put it right next to this black dresser. By the way, the noise is my husband blow drying his hair. But the white robot vacuum, I feel like it was slightly easier to keep clean. I feel like I have to keep, you know, dusting this whole thing, and it's an additional thing, like a maintenance thing, which I was not looking forward to, but the robot does look amazing. So if you don't want to dust it, I would go for the white version. I think you're probably gonna be happier. Just personally, I knew that I wanted to test it out. I wanted to see how I'm gonna like the black robot vacuum, and I probably next time I'm gonna buy a new one, I'm gonna go with the white one. So yeah. Also, I did buy the Roborock floor cleaner because I started reading some articles and they all said like, oh, don't use like whatever floor cleaner because it can corrode the inside of the robot vacuum. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna use the one that I have. I think it's fine, but it does has alcohol in it, so I did buy the Roborock floor cleaner because it's the same brand and they say that it's safe to use in robot vacuum. So hopefully that's fine. It's gonna come to me soon. So yeah, I'm recording a video. So no, I don't think you're visible, but okay. What do you think of the Roborock Q REVO, huh? You have something to add?
I used it twice. I have no idea.
This is my first impressions review. I made it clear.
First impressions, it's louder than the narwhal.
It is, but
it takes up a smaller footprint though because it's taller
yes,
rather than wider.
I like that. Yeah.
It seems like it does mopping just as well. It looked like it was pretty dirty water, which is good. It's nice that it auto sucks out the dust bin, so you don't have to.
Yeah, the dust. Yeah, self-emptying is great.
It's a slight improvement, I would say. Not a huge improvement, but it's because like narwhal.
Well, it's much cheaper. It's $400. Yeah, over $400 cheaper than the narwhal.
Oh,
keep that in mind.
Then I would say it's much better value.
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
But the narwhal is already a very good system to begin with. If you care mostly about the mopping, I think the tent on the narwhal looks much nicer.
Yeah, I guess it did look high quality.
This looks
yeah.
very utilitarian, which is fine. Like it's not a big deal.
I guess I agree with you. Just it takes a lot more room. I couldn't fit it here.
No, I know. But like
yeah.
it seems fine. The only thing is, it let itself out on the balcony.
I know, I mentioned that, yes.
Either way, it's an upgrade from the S7 for sure, I think.
Yeah, it's quieter than the 7.
Yeah,
slightly.
But boy, it sucks as loud as hell.
Well, that means that it gets all the dust.
I know.
It's a good thing.
Are you gonna finish your video?
I'm thinking, yes. Just give me a second. I asked you what you think of the robot, not of my video.
You do this all the time. You ask for something and then you go up.
Whatever. Anyhow, I think I mentioned everything I wanted to. Again, I am gonna prepare a full review on my channel probably in a few weeks after I thoroughly test this robot. But these are my first impressions. Let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to check out the links in the description. I'm gonna link this robot obviously and also the floor cleaner. So thank you so much for using these links, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.